And my name is Malvin Matala. Piswe Jomunika is on sign language and will also be crossing over to our Montreal studios later on in the bulletin.
Our top stories this evening. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says that Zimbabwe has this year achieved unprecedented milestones across all facets of the economy.
In the arts, South African gospel legends Rebecca Malope and Sipho Makabane lead the Grateful Experience homecoming concert. And also in our sports news, the Sables drone against England, Wales and Tonga in the 2027 Rugby World Cup.
ZANU-PF President and First Secretary Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa says that the country has attracted domestic, regional and international capital this year in line with the party's Pan-Africanist ideals. He was addressing a ZANU-PF Politburo meeting at the party headquarters in Harare earlier today. We hear more from our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe.
It all began with a minute of silence as the president presided over the 389th ZANU-PF Politburo meeting in the capital in respect of the late founder of the African Apostolic Church, Mutumwa Paul Mwaja. From there, the president looked at the year that was, looking at the economic gains made by our people, and said the party must pat itself on the back.
Together, as one people, from all the four corners of our country, in our diversity, we achieved unprecedented milestones across every facet of our economy and society. We have every reason to stand tall and confident of being masters of our destiny and independent as sovereign people.
The president said there is need for the party leadership to look at themselves as leaders, and they should not be swayed by urgent provocateurs and those detractors. They should remain united and steadfast, guided by the party constitution and the party principles.
Collectively, as the Politburo and respective heads of departments of the party, we are the secretariat of the Central Committee. We must therefore make sure that the conference resolutions and decisions of the Central Committee are implemented with clear matrix and laid out timelines. In our seminar reflections on emerging opportunities, threats and challenges, I urge the party to remain guided by our party constitution, Congress and conference resolutions. Our National Vision 2030 and the NDS2 remain fundamental beacons that guide our work and our plans for the near future. Equally important is the need for ZANU-PF to face head-on contemporary issues such as the impact of ICTs as well as artificial intelligence, among other trends on our body politic and national governance systems. We must be proactive and prepared to adapt our party in line with these developments. Our national realities, rich liberation ethos, and the people-centered character of our colossal revolutionary party should not be neglected.
On the economic front, the president said, the National Development Strategy 2 is a building on the successes made in the Transitional Stabilization Program, the National Development Strategy 1, and now the National Development Strategy 2 must enhance the Zimbabwean economy into the upper middle income economy by 2030.
Since our last meeting, the economy remains on an upward growth trajectory, and indicators are that we will end the year on a sound economic footing. This is incurred on the strong performance of our agriculture sector, high commodity prices, especially gold, coupled with investments in manufacturing, tourism, construction and infrastructure development sectors, among others. The remittances by our citizens in the diaspora continue to positively impact our country's current account as well as our balance of payment.
He said that the resolutions made at the 22nd National People's Conference must also be implemented without fail. On the international front, the president said the binational commissions signed by Zimbabwe and Zambia, by Zimbabwe and Mozambique, are all adding impetus to collaboration and cross-border investments in the sister republics with Zimbabwe. He also said as the curtains come down, it is a time for the people to reflect and work hard in this coming year. Ruben Barwet, ZBC News, at the ruling party headquarters in Harare.
Elsewhere, Zimbabwe and Iran are set to hold a mid-term review of the Joint Commission, which is expected to provide the scope to strengthen and explore new areas of cooperation. This was reviewed by the Iranian envoy to Zimbabwe, Ambassador Hossein Hosseini, when he met with the Vice President, General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga, in Harare earlier today.
A meeting to reaffirm commitment to bilateral ties between Zimbabwe and Iran, the new Iranian envoy to Zimbabwe, Ambassador Hossein Hosseini, met Vice President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga this Wednesday, with the engagement setting insights into future programs. Ambassador Hosseini revealed their discussion hinted on expanding the scope of cooperation to include health tourism.
I raised, certain issues that has been already in our bilateral agenda, including your cooperation in pharmaceutical production lines in Zimbabwe. And also I raised a new issue, that is promotion of cooperation in the field of health tourism. It was warmly welcomed by Dr. Chiwenga, the Vice President, and we are supposed to discuss all the actually previous and new areas of bilateral cooperation in the coming session of the midterm review process of our joint commission in Tehran very soon.
Zimbabwe and Iran share strong economic cooperation with agreements in energy, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, and telecommunications, as well as research, science, and technology.
In the meeting, first of all, we took benefit of his thoughtful and insightful remarks regarding the latest situation of our bilateral relations. And then I touched upon some key issues in our bilateral agenda. I think that we had a very constructive and positive discussion.
Zimbabwe will also be looking at maximizing linkages created during the Iran-Africa Economic Conference held in April this year, which was also attended by Vice President Chiwenga. The two nations' focus on enhanced cooperation is targeted towards mutual economic advancements. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
The production of hard wheat has gathered momentum after the Agricultural Rural Development Authority has conducted successful trials. This comes at a time when seed production firms have succeeded in coming up with different varieties which are yielding positive results and set to eliminate imports.
In a bid to eliminate imports of hard wheat, government is working on trials for the production of the strategic crop. ADA Chief Executive Officer Mr. Tinotenda Miko reviewed the trials have been conducted, adding that the nation is ready for full-scale production.
ADA has been trialing this variety for the past 4 years, during which we observed consistent performance. The variety is a white strain, variety white in color, preferable for bakery products. In terms of protein and gluten content, it consistently exhibits protein levels of up to 17% in high altitude areas and a gluten content of 37.6%. The elastic gluten formed during milling provides the necessary strength for bread making, ensuring good loaf volume and texture. So we believe that upon successful completion of these trials, this will be a game changer as we strive to achieve food self-sufficiency, food security, and food sovereignty, which is a key pillar in our NDS2 blueprint.
The Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Dr. Inshas Masuka, said results from the trials must trigger policy discussions regarding wheat imports.
That wheat would require mixing with hard wheat. And hard wheat ordinarily is grown in temperate areas. This is wheat that grows slowly and in winter, and therefore is able to give you the very high gluten content and also very high falling numbers. The combination of high gluten content and high falling numbers is critical because the high falling number indicates that the quality of the dough, the flour dough, is consistent. So you can make good bread out of it. Whereas the gluten content allows the elasticity in bread. So it means that that bread can then form the shape and the starches are in the right place.
The Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Mswere, said government is riding on the success of this season's record wheat harvest.
The harvesting of the wheat crop has been completed with a total of 640,195 metric tons harvested from the 122,000 hectares at an average yield of 5.2 metric tons per hectare. Trials are underway at Ada to produce a variety with hard wheat characteristics. A total of 47,709 metric tons of barley has been harvested from the 6,156 hectares planted.
Zimbabwe has recorded milestones in the production of soft wheat and has been importing hard wheat from countries like Russia and Canada, which constitutes 30% of the total wheat needed for baking bread. The breakthrough in hard wheat production is expected to be a game changer for the agricultural sector and downstream industries. Bruce Jawanda, SABC News, Harare.
Now, a new era has begun in the Mapanzure community after the installation of Chief Mapanzure as the substantive traditional leader of the area.
It was celebration time as the Mapanzure community witnessed the installation of Colin Chimofu as the substantive chief after occupying the position in an acting capacity for 8 years. The installation ceremony marks a new dawn of development in the area.
Aiwa chitiko chinochikudza kuti mambo anobatana makereke zvakanaka kuchengetedza unhu noumwari vanoshanda zvakasimba mukuvenga kushandiswa kwezvinodhaka.
The National Chiefs Council leadership highlighted the Second Republic's firm belief in the role played by traditional leaders as custodians of culture and agents of development.
Wachivotamburaira kuti wekana uri mambo wedzinza rapresident haugoni kuwanikwa uchiita zvimwe zvinhu zvinonyadzisa munyika. Hazvigoni iva mucherechedzo unotaridza kuti unobva muimba inotonga nyika ino Zimbabwe.
Government values traditional leaders as they are catalysts of development.
Susu se-Midlands province tafara zvikuru. Iyo hurumende inotungamirirwa nababa vaMnangagwa kumadzimambo edu takanzi tivaisire magetsi kuno kuMidlands tangosara nemadzimambo 4 oro 5 ese ane magetsi.
Kuti vanzi madzimambo zvinobva mukuremekedza kwatinovaita isusu nehunhu hwedu hwatinenge tichiratidza nguva nenguva patinenge tichidyidzana tichifamba navo tichishanda nevamwe tinofanirwa kudzidza kuchengetedza madzimambo edu. Tikasaremekedza madzimambo aya tatadza kuremekedza president nekuti president ndiwo mambo mukuru, ndiwo munhu mutapa nguva ino munyika yeZimbabwe. Saka ngatiremekedze madzimambo edu, madzishe nemasabhuku tinovaremekedza
The newly installed chief also received a vehicle as part of his conditions of service. Kare Jushes, ZBC News, Shishabane.
The project to rehabilitate water infrastructure in Harare is progressing well, with more than 10 kilometers of old asbestos pipes having been replaced so far.
The Harare Water Project, which is a private-public partnership in order to rehabilitate the capital city's entire water infrastructure, continues in earnest. This is Kingsmead Road here in Borodo, whereby more than 2 kilometers of old asbestos pipes have so far been removed in order to replace them with new AVC pipes. The project started in Warren Park, where residents so far are receiving water after more than 2 decades of dry taps. I caught up with the Helcro water engineer Boniface Mapini to give us an update on the latest project.
We have some areas which were not receiving water because these AC pipes are very old. Some of the pipes, they are over 50 or 60 years old. So we have seen that we need to replace them with the PVC so that other areas will get water. We have covered an area of about 2 kilometers. We are also in Warren Park. We are also in Avondale. We are also in Highlands. We are trying to cover a large part of the Harare area.
The project, which is initially targeting areas which are already receiving water, started almost a fortnight ago in Warren Park suburbs, where residents testified that they had gone for more than 2 decades without the precious liquid.
Mabudira yaita pesa apa uya pakati peusiku takarara utunzwa munhu vanenge vamukawo migomo jororo wozomukawo wosvika wochera woteedzerwa uchingotuta.
Tiri kufara sendinoti chona magiredi netiona futi nhasi mvura yechide kutoshama.
This project is in response to President Emmerson Mnangagwa's call to action in November 2023, rallying local municipalities and councils to improve the service delivery. Harare has been grappling with the perennial water problems, and obviously once this project is done, there will be uninterrupted supply and distribution of clean water to the majority of Harare residents towards the attainment of an upper middle income society by the year 2030. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, has promoted more than 20 senior officers of the Air Force of Zimbabwe to the ranks of wing commanders, group captains and air commodores.
The promotion ceremony was presided over by Commander Air Force of Zimbabwe, Air Marshal John Jacob Njede, at the Air Force of Zimbabwe headquarters in Harare this Wednesday.
Today is yet another momentous occasion in the Air Force of Zimbabwe and the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, has promoted 2 group captains to the rank of Air Commodore, 3 wing commanders to the rank of group captain, and 16 squadron leaders to the rank of wing commanders. Unfortunately, one of the newly promoted Air Commodore, who is a lady, is away on another assignment. In addition, a number of junior officers have also been promoted to fill the vacancies within the organization.
Newly promoted Air Commodore Givemore Taveshure expressed gratitude for the elevation, pledging to remain loyal to the national interest.
The logical starting point is to thank His Excellency, the President of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, for recognizing us. He is our Commander-in-Chief. We have been promoted at an inflection point where we are gunning towards the attainment of Vision 2030. As defense officers, our key role is driven by the Constitution. We are there and here to maintain and defend our country's stability, peace, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. And that we are alive to that constitutional mandate.
The promotion strengthens national defense and rewards exemplary service as the country strives to protect the existing peace, sovereignty, and territorial integrity. Farai Gwaze, ZBC News, Harare.
The Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service open prison concept has charmed visiting Prisons Commissioner General from the region, with authorities commending the rehabilitation concept, which is in line with current trends. Our Midlands Bureau Chief Tafara Chikomira was at Conmara Prison and filed the following report.
The ZPCS open prison concept, which began here at Conmara Prison back in 2000, speaks to the vision of the Correctional Service as it seeks to rehabilitate offenders for their successful reintegration into society. The concept is getting a serious buy-in from correctional service bosses from across the region as they seek to apply the same concept back to their stations.
It's a great concept and it's with a great purpose. It's something that us as a SADC has to take and go and implement. It's Africanized already. It's just taking it from Zimbabwe and I go to Namibia and in Namibia it and let the process move.
Of course, in Malawi, we do have the concept of an open prison, but I think what I've also learned, there's more insight in terms of how the management is run. There's a composition in terms of the selection of the inmates and then who are key in terms of the composition. It's got officers, I believe, comprising psychologists, amongst others, and those who are serving in the prison facilities of the open setup. So I think that for me is something that is key.
We know how rehabilitation and reintegration offenders is a process and cycle. And then we have a gap in pre-release process. So in Zimbabwe, they're almost preparing well pre-release.
The ZPS authorities say the open prison concept has created avenues for the implementation of the parole system set to be implemented by next year.
Our open prison concept is that we have our inmates preparing them for reintegration into society. This one will link very well with the parole system which we are going to establish. As we start and the inmates who are at open prison, and you will see that it will be very easy for us to come up with candidates who go on the parole system.
So this is a typical cell at this Conmara open prison facility, with prisoners already enjoying some quality time during festivities with their families. This soon-to-be-introduced parole system is said to be a game changer, as it will also witness prisoners finishing part of their sentence with their loved ones in the comfort of their homes. Tafara Chikomira, ZBC News, Gweru.
A severe storm has swept through Kami Prison Complex, destroying several buildings at the correctional facility.
The heavy downpour and strong winds which struck the complex medium prison this Monday tore off a total of 6 cells and left a substantial section of the perimeter fence damaged. Despite the significant structural damage, Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service officials said inmates housed in the affected buildings are safe and accounted for, with no injuries reported.
From our assessment, we discovered that about 6 cells of making up 3 blocks were affected, and 3 ablution facilities, as well as 13 households for our correctional officers. They were also damaged. Right now, all our inmates are accountable. They are all here. And when this happened, they were scattered all over the prison. But afterwards, they took responsibility through ensuring that they were all safe, and they moved to safer places through probably our security and also through their own initiatives.
As the full extent of the damage is being assessed, the government has activated the Civil Protection Department systems.
Government has taken note of this incident, and we have triggered the Civil Protection Unit
through the Ministry of Local Government. We are here with the DDC for Umguza. We are here with the Director of Local Government Services and the entire civil protection unit to rush to on site. One, to do the assessment of the extent of the damage that has taken place, as well as to trigger ultimately the resources from the Civil Protection Department.
The Civil Protection Department remains on high alert and fully operational to deal with emergencies across the country during the rainy season. Yolande Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Remember, for these and other stories, you can log on to our website www.zbcnews.co.zw, and you can follow us across all social media platforms at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. In the arts, South African gospel legends Rebecca Malope and Sipho Makhavane lead the Grateful Experience homecoming concert.
And in sport, Zimbabwe Sables drawn in Pool F of the 2027 Rugby World Cup. We take a quick break. Thereafter, we continue with the main news. Stay with us.
Zimbabwe inhaka yedu. Zimbabwe is our heritage. This festive season is the right time to travel.
Local is local.
Zimbabwe 2025, #1 destination in the world, according to Forbes magazine. This festive season, travel local and experience our heritage. Zimbabwe, inhaka yedu, ilifa letu. Experience Zimbabwe. Zimbo.
Texting while driving. What a dangerous thing to do on the wheel. Be smart. Put the phone down. Don't text and drive. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe. Safety first. There is no second chance.
Public Notice 2025 Parole and Reintegration Conference. The Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi Ziyambi, and Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service Commissioner, General Dr. Moses Siriaongawaite Chiobvu, proudly announces the Zimbabwe Regional Parole Conference 2025, a landmark national forum dedicated to strengthening the future of rehabilitation and community reintegration in Zimbabwe. Parole remains a key pillar in promoting community safety, supporting effective rehabilitation, and giving deserving offenders a structured second chance. As Zimbabwe continues modernizing its correctional system, collaboration and shared expertise have never been more essential. The conference is slated for 1 to 4 December 2025 at Rainbow Hotel, Jacaranda Rooms in Harare. This important conference will bring together local and international experts, policymakers, practitioners, and community stakeholders to explore innovations, challenges, and best practices in parole management and reintegration. Attendees can look forward to impactful presentations, strategic discussions, and forward-thinking ideas that will contribute to safer communities. Join the experience live. The entire event will be live streamed on the official ZPCS Facebook page, Zim Papers Television Network, ZTN, and all Zim Papers Facebook platforms. Don't miss this unique opportunity to understand how parole works, why it matters, and its vital role in building a safer and more rehabilitative society. Follow the ZPCS Facebook page to stay updated, receive the live stream link, and stay connected to real-time insights from this national event. ZPCS for incarceration, rehabilitation, and reintegration of offenders into the society.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news. Now, the town of Chiredzi is witnessing a transformative shift after close to 500 residents graduated from a comprehensive skills development program, and this happened earlier this Monday.
Youths who took part in the skills development program, including Tinevimbo Mvute, were previously entangled in the web of drug and substance abuse.
I learned of risks of harm and decay of lives destroyed in a haze of grey. I saw the heads, the families torn, and knew I had to make a change be born. Now I stand tall, a newfound pride, a dispensary assistant by education side. I help others with a heart that's true, sharing knowledge to see them through. My past is mine, but it doesn't define the person I am.
I enrolled for program here, beauty therapy, and it was a rigorous 2-week program. Yakandibatsira chaizvo ndi munhu angangogara angu achifarira zvegumi.
Takabikwa panyowani tava noruzivo kuita kuti vanhu vakuru tava noruzivo kuti sevatakura mari mugari takadzidziswa maererano nemibato yemaoko.
The Skills Development Program is part of community capacity building initiatives that equip locals with practical skills that translate into income, improved livelihoods, and sustainable enterprises. With the SME sector being the largest driver of innovation, government says it remains committed to ensuring women, youth, and community-based enterprises have the support they need to thrive. Skills Development Program encompassed training in disciplines that include driving, beauty therapy, welding, and baking. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
The duo of Mike Chimombe and Moses Mpofu, who used fake documents to win a tender to supply goats for the presidential goat parson scheme, defrauding government of $7 million, will be sentenced on Monday next week. Our reporter Fungai Jachi has the details.
Evening. Well, it has been a very long day here at the Harare High Court, but after a very long trial which lasted over a year and mishaps in the commencement of the pre-sentencing hearing after the conviction of Chimombe and Mpofu in October, I think it is now safe to say the case will be put to rest next week when Justice Pisrai Kwenda will hand down his sentence. The sentence has been set for Monday, the 8th of December. During the proceedings of the pre-sentencing hearing, which started this morning, the state led a witness from the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, who insisted that the offense committed by the two had a negative impact on those who were supposed to benefit from the presidential goat parson scheme. The intended beneficiaries include child-headed families and widows. And the state implored the court to give the two a lengthy custodial sentence, arguing that they stole from vulnerable communities, all to their benefit. Mpofu confirmed in court that some of the money was used to improve facilities at his farm, which include dam and road rehabilitation. The state further indicated that no remorse was shown by the duo. In his mitigation, Mpofu argued that he did not benefit from the offense, but was rather shortchanged by government as they never received the 30% payment which they were supposed to get to provide the first batch of goats. He said his company even ended up using some of its money to provide the 4,000 goats they managed to provide. He, however, apologized for the offense after being pushed by the state to do so. Chimombe was, however, quick to apologize and even volunteered to restitute the full amount. He argued that he played a minimal role in the commission of the offense, hence deserves a lenient sentence. He noted that although a prison term might be unavoidable, it has to be very short because the two have already spent a long time in pre-trial incarceration. They have been in custody since their arrest in June last year, and their bail applications were thrown out and had to be tried whilst in custody. And so next week on Monday, the jury will be sentenced, putting this matter to finality. It's back to you.
Thank you very much, Fungai, for giving us that update. And that report leads us to Montrose, where Arthur Evans is on standby to give us more news. Always good to see you, Arthur.
Thank you so much, Melvin. In other news, the Second Republic's commitment to the provision of quality education is on full display, with Insiza Rural District Council harnessing devolution funds to construct a new primary school block.
According to the 2022 census, Fellabusi town has experienced rapid growth coupled with a relatively high population of children of school-going age. It further points out that of over 12,000 people that live in Fellabusi, more than 5,000 are eligible to be at school, yet the town had only 2 primary schools. At the peak of COVID-19, Fellabusi Government Primary School, which has just 9 classrooms, had more than 20 classes, prompting the council to expedite the completion of Begezela Primary School using devolution funds.
Basiza kakhulu ngoba abantwana ipopulation yabantwana lapha iningi kakhulu. Okube sokukhoza ukuthi abanye abantwana babe seFellabusi, abanye bangene emini, abanye bangene ekuseni. Isikhathi esiningi nxa kusemini kuyabe kuchisa, abantwana babe bengafundi kuhle.
Ukukhula kweFellabusi Begezela la ekhanya singe isikolo esesingezelela ukuthi Fellabusi ikhule.
I-council yasincedisa kakhulu isibonile ukuthi izakhamizi zilani zilothando bangenela. Saqala ngeblock leli basiplastela basifulelela wahle waba ngumuzi.
The school, which has already opened its doors to learners, has an enrollment of more than 500 learners.
Siyathanda ukubonga kakhulu uHulumende ngokusinikeza le mali esenze selelisa besilwisa lathi njenge-council ukuthola izimali kusukela kulapho esavunyelwa ukuthatha khona izimali kuma-residents ethu kuma-minors lamanye izindawo lapho kumele sithole khona izimali ukuthi sikwanise ukwenza i-development yesigaba.
But there are so many projects that we are doing with this devolution, and we appreciate that they impacted quite a lot into the communities.
Government is on a drive to provide affordable, quality and inclusive education to its citizenry.
It gives me great pride to share the inspiring journey that led to the establishment of Begezela Primary School, a shining example of community-driven development supported by visionary leadership and government commitment. Insiza District Council prioritized Begezela Primary School in response to community needs. Using devolution funds, they developed the school from a simple idea into a full functional institution with classrooms, ablution facilities, furniture and sports infrastructure aligning with the government's inclusive development.
Begezela Primary School joins a long list of new schools that have been constructed in the province using devolution funds and the Constituents Development Fund, which includes Zompata, Ndiweni, Matendele and Polymagamam. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Fellabusi.
Next, we take a look at Mashonaland Central, but still focusing on an education positive note. The drive for universal access to education has received a major boost in the province after the commissioning of classroom blocks at Sanya Primary School in the province, where learners were using huts as classrooms previously.
From humble beginnings in simple, poor and dagger huts, Sanya Primary School has risen to new heights. This remarkable transformation was celebrated this Monday, marking a new chapter in the school's history.
The local community was elated that learners who once faced challenges of inadequate learning space and traveled long distances to go to other schools now have better facilities.
Tatine vana vaifamba 5 kilometers. Imagine mwana ane 4 years arodonotanga ECD achifamba 5 kilometers. Zvairwadza zvaitiremera zvoti vamwe vaigona kutanga grade 1 ane 7 years. Pari zvino tikuti zvinhu zvedu zvashanduka.
Neshungu takazofunga kuti arigeti vake chikoro takavaka chemapango 2015. Vana vachidzidza vari muchikoro zvemapango.
The infrastructure was developed with support from Delta Corporation as part of its corporate social responsibility initiatives.
This program, we've been running it for more than 25 years. Under our sustainability pillar of our schools assistance program, which is education for all. As Delta, we really believe that the leaders of tomorrow must be given a chance.
Sanya Primary School was registered, with government now initiating steps for registration.
Chikoro chino vana vanga vachienda kunonyorera 8 kilometers away. Izvozvo seMinistry of Primary and Secondary Education tichagadzirisa to register chikoro chino kuitira kuti vana vakwanise kunge vachinyorera pano. Tisaita vana vanoita drop out nenyaya yekuti vari kufamba mufambo wakakura.
And it's a very good development, especially at this school where they were using Paul and Dagger as classrooms. And we are seeing the partnering of parents together with the community and Delta as a partner in building this country in alignment to Vision 2030 and Education 5.0.
Government is striving to reduce walking distances for learners through its infrastructure development drive, with schools under construction set to reach 120 by year end.
Sanya Primary School story is one of resilience and progress. It's a shining example of the transformative impact of investing in education. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Mzarabani.
In order to improve service delivery, government is rallying local authorities across the country to align their 2026 budgets with the recently launched National Development Strategy 2.
As the year comes to an end, local authorities are finalizing their 2026 budgets. A tour of vending markets in the city of Victoria Falls this Tuesday saw government rallying local authorities to fully incorporate the National Development Strategy 2 and improve service delivery.
The tour so far has been okay. The state of the current facilities are decent, but there's always room for improvement so that our vendors have facilities that are of an upper middle income economy as we march towards 2030. So we hope that the local authority, in its budgeting, it will speak into NDS2, which was launched by His Excellency President Iti Mnangagwa last week, to ensure that no one and no place is left behind in terms of the local development plans, local economic plans that the local authority puts in place to serve the economic players in Victoria Falls.
The city of Victoria Falls outlined some of the steps it is taking to promote orderly vending.
What came out clearly was the issue of night vending being illegal, as it tends to promote illicit deals. And as a local authority, we'll continue with the vigilance that we have been known for in terms of surveillance and enforcing our bylaws related to trading.
As the country moves to implement NDS2, accountable local authorities remain central to driving community-level development and realizing Vision 2030.
Speaking of alignment, we stay aligned with Pockets Hill as we take you back to Pockets Hill for more news. My name is Arthur Sevens for the Montrose News Desk.
Thank you very much, Arthur. We now continue from our Pockets Hill studios. Now, we have been covering the 21st Regional Universities Forum for Agricultural Development, that is the RU Forum Annual General Meeting, on all our bulletins right here on ZBC. And today it entered its third day in Gaborone, Botswana, with the focus now shifting to leadership and long-term strategies for enhanced innovations. The Vice-Chancellors from Zimbabwean universities articulated their institution's pivotal role in shaping the forum's mission and driving the national development agenda. Our reporter, Nyasha Makota, is in Botswana and gives us the following report.
The focus today at Ruforum was on the continent's top academic leadership. Vice-chancellors from Zimbabwe detailed how universities are being shaped to be catalysts for national development through Education 5.0, which speaks to innovation and industrialization.
Ruforum was formed through the initiative that involved the University of Zimbabwe. And as we see Ruforum now growing to over 175 universities across 40 countries in Africa. So the opportunity that we see is coming from that is Zimbabwe offering its heritage-based Education 5.0 as a transformative architecture for education, transforming the way education is conducted.
This year's theme, which speaks to aligning academia to national goals, was echoed across the Zimbabwean delegation. Other vice-chancellors detailed how their specific institutions are translating the ethos of Ruforum to national development.
We are focusing on traditional grains, and we have a center at Chive, right in the midst of rural areas, where we are bringing rural people, to participate in rural development. The purpose is to harness rural masses into university activities, and therefore linking together rural universities, masses with the university generally.
So we are saying this is the decade in which universities and the higher education sector will have to do everything in their capacity to ensure that development in Africa is university-led.
What we are looking forward to as a university, what Ruforum is looking forward to, is to tap into support and create opportunities for the youth so that they can employ themselves in the agriculture sector and employ their peers.
As day 3 of the Ruforum concluded today, the message from Botswana is that of purposeful alignment. Zimbabwe's academic leadership is leveraging on this continental stage to secure partnerships and refine strategies that are linked to the nation's development agenda, Vision 2030. Nyasha Makota, ZBC News, Havieron.
The Second Republic is on a drive to improve performance and service delivery of state-owned entities as digitization of public sector corporate governance systems continues.
Public entities have been praised for their commitment to reforms aimed at easing financial dependence on our government.
What you're witnessing today is the launch of that system to our public entities first, our focal persons in 9 ministries, our focal persons in public entities who are the corporate secretaries. So that is the audience that you're seeing today. And we are now opening the gates to allow them to be registered in the system, to allow them to be oriented on how the system works.
The Corporate Governance Unit, CGU Management Information System, brought together various stakeholders in Harare this Wednesday with a view to ensure efficiency in the manner in which public entities conduct their operations.
The introduction of systems, of automation of systems, will ensure that there is a quick turnaround in the management of information, in the flow of processes, and at the end of the day, people will have access to whatever they want, especially information-wise, because it will be automated.
The CGU is there to monitor the performance of all public entities. So up to now, we have been submitting this information to CGU manually. But what is happening now is we are digitizing.
Experts contend that public entities are important for socio-economic development as they provide services such as health, education, infrastructure, transport, and energy, among others. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
On to other news, the government is pleased with the progress that has been made through disability inclusion as Zimbabwe steadily advances towards Vision 2030.
Commemorations to mark the International Day of Persons with Disabilities held in Bulawayo this Wednesday brought to the fore government strides in disability inclusion.
Let us remember that inclusion is not a favor.
It is a right. Persons with disabilities are not passive recipients of aid. They are active agents of change, innovation, and progress.
The church and organizations representing persons with disabilities applauded government for promoting their rights.
Church people, we have to work on the issue, especially on the African side of saying the husband blaming the wife for having done something wrong. Disablement comes when something may have gone wrong with the genes, and that is nobody's inability to sacrifice people whom we think should not be within part of our society.
And also the National Development Strategy 1, which is coming to an end, and the upcoming National Development Strategy 2, both NDS 1 and NDS 2 acknowledge disability as a cross-cutting interdisciplinary issue.
Those who attended the commemorations expressed gratitude to government for fostering total inclusion in different sectors of the economy.
So the government has installed inclusivity in our universities, where you can find people like universities are studying different kind of courses that they are doing. Also, inclusivity also improves society.
The government has helped us ngama grants.
Tinoda kutora mukana wekutenda hurumende pane zvairi kutiitira tikatarisira nyaya dze-inclusive education.
Commemorations to mark the International Day of People with Disabilities were running under the theme Fostering Disability, Inclusive Societies for Advancing Social Progress.
In Masvingo, it was a day to remember for persons with disabilities, their guardians and representatives as they gathered to interact, share experiences, encourage one another and access services aimed at improving their livelihoods.
Just being here at this platform to celebrate a day that is meant for us, it's really a stride for us, and it's good for people with disabilities because a lot of people, they get to gather and share ideas on how to live with disability.
Nini ndine disability, but I'm a teacher. Ndiri teacher kudaro. I also have a shop inotorana and I am driving my own car.
Zuva iri rakatikoshera zvikuru nokuti kwanga kuri kuseta hwaro hwenyaya dziri maringi nevanhu vakaremara. Tinochema nyaya dzeminda, nyaya dzedzimba, kugara kwakanaka, kuenda kuzvikoro, zvose nhasi zvakurukirira pano.
Despite these positive strides, stakeholders say more needs to be done, particularly in improving disability-friendly infrastructure in public spaces.
Hazvitangire kusociety, asi zvinotangira mumhuri yaberekwa mwana ane disability.
We believe that disability inclusion is not charity, it is justice. It is about creating systems where every person can participate fully.
Senators representing persons with disabilities highlighted progress made through existing legislation.
Ngatironganei tive magroup tinge tichienda kwakasiyana siyana tichinotaura nehurumende yedu tinoke pamadhozi akawanda kuti tiwanise kuti tigokwanisa kuti tive vanhu vanoramba vachidini kwete vanongorarama vachida kuti vapiwe hove asi vanoda kurarama vachinoraura.
Tiri kufara kuti tava neDisabled Act, tine National Disability Policy inova yati iri kusimbisa kuti zuva iri rakakosha.
Masvingo Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Ezra Chadzamira, reaffirmed the government's commitment to inclusion and equality.
Today we gather not only to celebrate the resilience, strength and contributions and achievements of persons with disabilities across Zimbabwe, but to reaffirm our collective commitment to building a society that is inclusive, just and empowering for all.
The International Day for Persons with Disabilities is commemorated annually on the 3rd of December.
The main news continues after this break. Stay with us.
Life can sometimes seem like it's on pause.
each day blending into the next. You're left wondering when the excitement will return, when the adventure will begin. That first sip awakens the wild rivers within, where every moment is an opportunity to explore, discover, to live. Welcome to the world of Zambezi Lager, where the mighty Zambezi flows and greatness abounds. For the Zambezians, it's all about good friends, great moments, and the taste of adventure. Step into the captivating world of Zambezi Lager, where every taste is a journey and every moment shared is filled with the heartfelt pride of Zimbabwe. Zambezi Lager, for those who seek adventure, who cherish the journey, and who know that life's greatest moments are shared.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is the competition. Everything.
So here they come for the opening game, and away we are here at the Africa Cup of Nations.
Join our family meeting from the 21st of December to the 18th of January. Purchase a decoder for $30. AFCON 2025, live on SuperSport.
Thank you for staying with us on the main news. We now look at business news, where the industrialization agenda is on course with a new car assembly plant being established in Mount Hampton. The car assembly plant has a capacity to produce over 12,000 vehicles per year. We get more details from Tamuka Charakupa.
In the rapidly developing landscape of Mount Hampton in Mashonaland West Province, heavy machinery is already shaping what will soon become one of the country's largest automotive assembly facilities. Century Auto Assembly, which also runs a gas manufacturing plant, has moved on site to establish a modern plant that will assemble a range of motor vehicles for the local and regional market. The company's chief executive officer, Mr. Muhammad Jamal, said the factory will have the capacity to produce over 12,000 units annually, a figure that places Zimbabwe on the regional map as a competitive automotive player.
Basically, we act more as an OEM, so we will be able to produce for ourselves or for anyone that brings us SKDs as well. We have more than 15 years experience in assembly of vehicles, specifically with Toyota, Ford and Nissan as well, and we're hoping we can imitate the same thing in Zimbabwe also.
The investment set for completion early next year is also expected to create hundreds of skilled jobs while stimulating a value chain that spans local suppliers, transporters and component manufacturers.
We will be able to produce a minimum of 1,000 vehicles per shift per month, so that's 12,000 per year. Moving up slowly with the market demands. This place we will be employing nothing less than 150 to 200 people on a single shift basis, and then gradually we will be going upwards as well. We have plans to also extend local content manufacturing in Zimbabwe to be able to produce more car parts in Zimbabwe to reach the local content minimum, which is 30%, to be able to become an exporter as well.
Mashonaland West Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Maren Chombo, said the development aligns with the Second Republic's industrialization and modernization agenda.
Chandifadza chikuru ndechekuti vari kuemploya vana mayouth emuno munharaunda yezvimba Mount Hampton, zvokuratidza kuti vana vedu vakuzosiyana nezvinodhaka nekuti vanenge vachiona mabasa ekuita. Kambani iyoyi haisi muno chete asi iri kune dzimwewo nyika muno muAfrica. Aiwa, ndinonzwa kufara nekuti Vision 2030 taakutoibata.
The project stands as a clear proof that the Second Republic has ushered in an investor-friendly environment, attracting meaningful capital and driving industrial growth as Zimbabwe positions itself as a stronger manufacturing sector. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Mount Habden.
From our business, we now take a look at the arts, where South African gospel legends Rebecca Malope and Sibo Makavani will join top Zimbabwean artists for the Grateful Experience concert that will be held in Harare this coming Saturday. The concert is the final leg of a tour that has taken the musicians to the United Kingdom and to Botswana. The event's coordinator, Mr. John Makombe, says the concert is a homecoming celebration of gratitude, bringing together leading gospel artists.
Grateful Experience tour for 2025 started in the UK in May. We had a very, a lovely event in the UK in May, and then we moved from UK. We went to Botswana in August, where we had, exceptionally good experience. And now it's December. We are now at home. Back home in Zimbabwe, we are having Minister Michael Mayendere, Minister Tek Shiwazama, Minister Blessing Jedutham, Eliana Makombe, who is our host. We also have Sharon and Ella Cherai, and we also have worshipper Larry Gunda, Fig Worship, Tatenda Gurupira, Yusuf Gurupira, and we also have all the way from South Africa, Dr. Rebecca Malope, and also Big Fish, Sifo Makabane. So what we are doing is just coming together as gospel musicians, not as individuals, but coming together with a spirit of gratitude.
Sport news with Anashe will be coming after this break. Stay with us on the main news.
Public Notice 2025 Parole and Reintegration Conference. The Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi Ziyambi, and Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service Commissioner, General Dr. Moses Siriongawete Chiobvu, proudly announces the Zimbabwe Regional Parole Conference 2025, a landmark national forum dedicated to strengthening the future of rehabilitation and community reintegration in Zimbabwe. Parole remains a key pillar in promoting community safety, supporting effective rehabilitation, and giving deserving offenders a structured second chance. As Zimbabwe continues modernizing its correctional system, collaboration and shared expertise have never been more essential. The conference is slated for 1 to 4 December 2025 at Rainbow Hotel, Jacaranda Rooms in Harare. This important conference will bring together local and international experts, policymakers, practitioners, and community stakeholders to explore innovations, challenges, and best practices in parole management and reintegration. Attendees can look forward to impactful presentations, strategic discussions, and forward-thinking ideas that will contribute to safer communities. Join the experience live. The entire event will be live streamed on the official ZPCS Facebook page, Zim Papers Television Network, ZTN, and all Zim Papers Facebook platforms. Don't miss this unique opportunity to understand how parole works, why it matters, and its vital role in building a safer and more rehabilitative society. Follow the ZPCS Facebook page to stay updated, receive the live stream link, and stay connected to real-time insights from this national event. ZPCS for incarceration, rehabilitation, and reintegration of offenders into the society.
Festive is here, Shah. First Street lights up, and suddenly the vibe is back. It stretches from Harare to Hollywood, even to Old Trafford. Jesse Jiri Festive. All I want this festive season? The stories that keep us hooked. The ngoma, the rhythm, the laughter, the drama, the goals, the world-class entertainment that brightens up the holidays for the whole family. All I want is DSTV.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anna Shimbrombe here with the latest in the world of sport. Zimbabwe Sables have been drawn to battle England, Wales and Tonga in Pool F of the 2027 Rugby World Cup set for Australia. The draw was conducted in Sydney this Wednesday. The team qualified for the global stage after defeating Namibia 30-28 and the 2025 Rugby Africa Cup final. Zimbabwe returned to the Rugby World Cup after a 36-year absence, with their previous appearances being in 1987 and 1991. The Sables will be looking to make an impact in the expanded tournament, which will feature 24 teams competing across 6 pools. The 2027 Rugby World Cup will be the largest in the sport's history, with the top 2 teams from each pool progressing to the knockout stages, along with the 4 best third-placed teams. The tournament will take place from the 1st of October to the 13th of November 2027 in Australia. Now, Zimbabwe's AFCON preparations have been dealt a heavy blow after the Confederation of African Football (CAF) and World Football Governing Body FIFA adjusted the player release deadline to the 15th of this month, a week later than initially planned. The development dents the Warriors' preparations of the team had planned a high-level pre-tournament camp ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations set for Morocco this month.
The delayed release of foreign-based players means the technical team should recalibrate their strategy, training camp and travel arrangements. The Warriors training camp started on Sunday with coach Marian Maranika initially announcing a preliminary 51-member squad that will be trimmed before departure for Morocco. Despite the setback, the team is slowly taking shape with experienced players such as Fintown United defender Alec Mudimu, who has been recalled from international retirement, Manika Diamonds goalkeeper Tidias Baye, and AC Marinense rising star Colbert Chimedza joining the camp. The Warriors, who are making their 6th appearance at AFCON, kick off their campaign with a date against the Pharaohs of Egypt on the 22nd of this month.
Black Giants Highlanders have officially launched their centenary celebrations as the club walks 100 years of existence next year. Several events are set to precede the celebrations, which come on the background of a 19-year drought coupled by a disappointing 2025 season, which saw Boso survive relegation by a whisker on the last day. Highlanders board member Elkanah Dube says the milestone calls for celebrations given the team's unparalleled influence in the community.
We celebrate not just 100 years of existence, but 100 years of achievement. We are the architects of 7 league titles, the champions of several cup competitions, which include Independence Cup, Chipuku Cup, Bata Diamond Cup, Heroes Cup, and more importantly, the enduring heartbeat of Bulawayo and the southern region, as well as the entire Zimbabwe and beyond. Our success stories are etched into the fabric of this nation. We have nurtured legends in the mold of Peter Ndlovu and Matinda Ndlovu, who did not just excel on the pitch, but carried the spirit of Highlanders onto the world stage. We are proud of our ongoing community engagement, particularly the grassroots coaching clinics or educational support programs that underscore our commitment in terms of social responsibility. Now to the centenary vision, shaping the next 100 years. As we stand at this incredible centenary marker, we look forward with a renewed and ambitious theme, which is celebrating a passion-driven century rooted in pride, culture, and football.
Highlanders board member there, Elkanah Dube, highlighting the significance of a milestone for Iboso Highlanders set to celebrate 100 years of existence next year. That's it from the Sports Corner. Back to you guys.
Oh, thank you very much, Anashia, for giving us our sports news. And that's it for today's edition of Your Main News. We're back again on the Main News tomorrow evening. Have a good night.
Good night.
ZBC TV. Le ZBC TV local.